morning. Oh, my pillow needs to be chopped. Boom. Chopped. Just like Andre Vasilevsky last night. Go Rangers, baby. What a game. What a game. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? Welcome to the 2nd of June, Thursday. Guten Morgen. Is that German? All right, so today we're basically in the same place we were yesterday. Almost everything we're looking at today is pretty much identical. A lot of charts look the same. A lot of retest levels are still there. A lot of rejections are still there. So not much has changed day over day, which is interesting. Yesterday was, we got the early downside yesterday, but the rest of the day we just sort of stayed flat. So we'll see what we can look at today. Basically going to be a lot of similar things, guys. Everything's still sort of setting up the same. Let's see if we can catch some of it. Let's prepare ourselves for today. And yeah, let's do it. Looks like we got some German in the chat. All right, so first of all, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, as always. Today's the 2nd. We're going to look at the futures, as always. We're going to look at the economic and earnings calendar, as always. Still watching Tesla at 780. This is a big rejection point that I'm still watching. I'm still watching Apple at 150, right? We looked at those yesterday. And I'm still watching Nvidia at the 182 retest. Yesterday, Nvidia pulled back to right to 182, and it held very nicely. So if there's some kind of strength on the market, then I like the Nvidia retest. But I'll say it right now, guys, the strength to the upside on the market looks pretty weak. It is just not wanting to go higher with any type of real convincing upside. So we'll have to wait till we see something change. We have to wait for the price action to show us this, because if we look at the price action yesterday, there's really not much convincing, price action, not much convincing strength to make me think that we're going to just rocket higher. So obviously the market is different every day. Things can happen. We could continue to the upside. But right now, definitely some weakness there. On the overall market. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Energy has pulled back. It's pulling back this morning as well. Oil is pulling back. I believe there was some OPEC news. So let's see. I want to see oil pull back. I want to see energy pull back. I think it will create another opportunity for entries, for upside. I don't think this is like the end of energy, right? If we get a pullback, I think that's actually an opportunity. So let's keep an eye on this energy pullback that we're seeing. Microsoft has been pretty strong versus the market. I want to keep an eye on Microsoft for any type of outperformance. I know it's, the market, as I said, is pretty weak to the upside right now. I don't really trust the upside, but Microsoft has been outperforming. So I want to go ahead and watch that. It's holding a very nice 270 level. I'll share it with you guys today. These next three are some weak names traditionally that I wouldn't mind playing to the downside. Upstart, double top, PayPal, bear flag, and Roku just cannot get over 100. So I want to go ahead and show you guys those three rejection weak names that are starting to show some signs of weakness. After that, we'll go ahead and look at your tickers, and then we'll wrap it up. So let's go ahead and get started. Nasdaq. Actually, you know what? Let's start with economic earnings calendar. Let me get that pulled up for you here. All right. Here we go. Here's the year economic. Today is Thursday. Today we have jobless claims, employment report. So we'll see if there's any movement off this. I wouldn't expect nothing crazy on a move on this, but we'll have to go ahead and obviously see. We'll just have to see what these numbers are and how it reacts to how the market reacts to it. So let's keep an eye on that. You got a bunch of statements from James Bullard yesterday, basically just talking about the same stuff, saying that he thinks the current interest rate hikes are appropriate, et cetera, et cetera. Nothing that crazy. that he talked about, but he was making some remarks yesterday. Jobless claims today, and then tomorrow, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings. So a lot more about jobs and employment over the next 2 days, right? You got more employment news here, and you got sort of employment news tomorrow as well. So let's keep an eye on that. Yeah, Christopher, that was an old tweet that I don't know how it sent out. It was on my stream deck. I noticed that like an hour later, and I was like, holy crap, I don't know how that even was out. So if I go to my stream deck and I go to my tweet, you can see right here, it's like, this is from a long time. This is from August 23rd of 2021, and it somehow got sent out. So yeah, that was a mistake. That was like a 6 month, that's like almost a year old tweet that was sent out. I don't know how that happened. I noticed that the same time you did probably. So yeah, ignore that. That definitely did not take a trade from a year ago. So that's that. That is the economic calendar. Let's go ahead and pull up the earnings calendar. I don't think there's that much on the earnings calendar. Yesterday we had like some small ones, Chewy, GameStop, that I have no interest in. Let me go ahead and just zoom in on this for you guys just so we can review this. All right, so yesterday we had GameStop, Chewy, MongoDB, UiPath. I'm not going to trade any of them. MDB is up this morning about $21, so that could be worth a watch. Today, after hours, we have CrowdStrike, Lulu, Restoration Hardware. I do have shares of Lulu, so I will be interested to see how they do. They always outperform, it seems, as though on their earnings, so I hope to see a very similar thing. CrowdStrike should be pretty interesting. Restoration Hardware for some, housing, furniture type thing. Very nice furniture, I will say. So we'll see how these come out. Not really that interested in playing them, but, just want to go ahead and share that with you guys. And now we can start on the futures. All right, so let's start on the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and start on the 4 hour here. And here we go. So here's the 4 hour chart, guys, and it's pretty clear, right? We need to break over this level. I don't really want to look even for upside until we're over 13,000, because to me, this is a huge, huge resistance point. This is a really important level. You can see the market sort of tried to hold here. This is when we got that ridiculous push. I think this was the fastest upside move, and I heard that it was, I don't know, you guys can confirm this for me, but it was like the quickest move to the upside in history, I want to say. That's a big word to say, but I think it was. It was about 17, 18% in 2 weeks. So this was a huge bounce off 13,000. So we know that 13,000 is a very important level here for the Nasdaq. And you can see that we are not quite at that level. This is a little bit of a push, but is this something that changes the longer term trend here? Is this move really changing the longer term outlook here? To me, no. To me, it has not proven anything just yet. I will say that it is a nice little move. You probably, there's definitely opportunity on the move last week. Thursday, Friday, we basically went straight up. It was a good move. Is it breaking anything major? To me, not yet. I need to see at least 13,000. This is a little bit more of a longer term view for you on the 4 hour. I need to see at least 13. If we get over 13, then I could definitely see the squeeze potential over 13, but we are not there just yet. So we need to be aware of that, right? We need to be aware of the longer term analysis. It is still clearly downtrending. It is still clearly weak. We aren't over this previous support. I think 13,000 is the key for us to see if we can break over. Now, if we break this down a little bit closer, I will say there's one bullish thing that I'm looking at on this market, and it's the fact that we continue to hold this retest level. This is interestingly bullish to me, right? I'm not like crazy bullish on this, but it is something that I am monitoring. And you can see we had previous resistance, and it is attempting its best to hold this area as support. So does this hold as support? Does the 12.6, 12.5 area hold as support here? Does it break and retest and push to the upside? That's what I'm looking for, right? Is this a break and retest? Do we try to sort of break out of this bull flag? And do we get the upside move towards 13,000? If we can somehow get freed of this downtrend in the short term, then I do definitely see the opportunity to sort of curl into 13,000. I see it, right? It's there. It's possible off the retest. However, if I'm just reading the price action over the last 3 days, 2 days, it's just not strong. Every upside move gets sold into, sort of like this, big push, sold into, push, sold into, push, and maybe it gets sold into today. So until this looks like it's going to really go, guys, I'm not going to try to be the hero that catches the bottom, right? I just don't really care to do so. I'm not going to be the person that buys it here and says, you know, I think we're going to push to the upside, because that would be going against everything that the market's showing me. That would be basically just me taking a long shot. The market is not showing me as of now that the upside has a lot of support. So I'm just being real here, right? I'm trading as you know, as short term as I can, making sure I focus on what the short term is showing me, and it's just not showing me that we're gonna break out of this just yet. When it does, when it definitely shows strength, then I'll go for it. But right now, I think we're just sort of chilling, consolidating, which is not a bad thing. But it's just sort of a patient time, right? Staying patient, waiting to see what the next move is. Do we break down this retest, or do we start to curl to the upside? That's what I'm waiting to see today, guys. That's what I think you should be watching as well. Previous resistance, potential support. Do we break to the upside, or do we start to lose this retest level around 12.6 to 12.5? If we do lose the level, I think you're going to come down to this previous level, 12.3. And if we lose 12.3, I think you will retest our previous important level, which was 12.1. I don't know if you guys remember when we broke 12.1, right? That was where that push started to happen. So if we lose this retest, I'm thinking 12.3. And if we lose 12.3, I'm thinking we retest 12.1. So sort of a, you know, just giving back some of this crazy upside. The other reason why I'm just a little bit cautious here is because you can see how quickly this move was, right? Look how quickly this move to the upside was. It was very quick, and I think you need to at least give back some of that to form some kind of strength. So that's the futures, guys. That's the Nasdaq. Retest level is clearly there. Do we curl off of it, or do we give it up? That's really what I'm waiting to see, and I'm not going to be the hero that tries to guess. I'm going to wait until the market shows me. The ES, the 4-hour. So the 4-hour on the ES shows a pretty big supply zone. It's about a 50-point supply on the ES, and it's right here, guys, between 4150 and 4200. You can see it all right here. You can see it all right here, and you can see the reaction that we saw as we pushed into it last week. Support, 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 support. We broke down below it. We came back into it. Previous support on the 4-hour chart is turning into a very strong resistance. So, am I bullish here? Am I going to buy calls into a supply zone? I'm not. You know, you might, but I'm not, right? I'm not going to be buying calls into a supply zone. That is very rarely the right thing to be doing. So, I need to see the ES get over this supply. If it's not over this supply, I'm not bullish on the ES, right? There's just no reason to be. Why be bullish on the ES into supply? Why not wait until it proves to turn supply into support, right? Why not wait until it proves it and turns it into support? I don't see the reason to try to guess that we're going to move to the upside here and play into supply, right? If you're taking a logical and systematic approach to your trading, which not everyone can say they do, there is no reason to play upside into supply. There's just not. If you want to try to guess, if you want to try to be the person that catches the breakout, if you're just throwing money around, then sure, right? But if you're trying to play capital preservation, if you're actually trying to protect your risk, if you're actually trying to make logical trades, I would not play upside into this major supply. That's my opinion. Take it for what you think, right? Could be wrong. Maybe you missed out on something, but to me, it doesn't make sense. So, until the ES gets over probably about 4,200, I'm not really interested in any upside here. What we can see is occurring is that we are seeing a little bit of a hold, and I can break that down to the hourly chart. right here. We are seeing somewhat of a hold at these previous highs right here. So we're getting a little bit of a 4100 to 4080 retest hold in this general area. You can see it. Previous resistance right here, previous resistance, and we're trying to hold it as support. Is that very strong in my opinion? Not really, but I will be watching to see, do we hold this 4080, 4100 general previous resistance? So that's my feel on the ES, guys. I don't think it's very bullish at all. I think you're rejecting a pretty major supply here. And if we lose yesterday's lows, I could definitely see this coming back down under yesterday's lows, breaking this previous support, and coming back down towards maybe the 4,000 area. So big supply. I'm not going to touch this until I either see the clear breakdown or a very clear break and retest, turning 4,200 into support. That's me. I'm playing safety. I like my money. I'm not going to throw it out to the wolves here at a supply zone. So that's the ES. Let's go ahead and look at the Dow. The Dow is holding our retest level that we've talked about a few times here on the channel, 32.7. So if we go to the, let's just look at the hourly here. You guys can see it pretty clearly, right? Look at where the Dow payroll numbers are out, 815. 815, really? Let's see if, yeah, okay. Walter's got it for us. ADP May U.S. private sector jobs plus 128. Slowest growth month. So not a big month for private sector jobs. Is the market reacting to that at all? A little bit. Not much. Sort of up and down. Remember, that's the 1 minute chart. So not really. Private payrolls increased by just 128,000 in May. Slowest growth of the recovery, ADP says. Private payrolls increased just 128. Leisure and hospitality sector most hit by the sector most hit most. That's that's a typo by CNBC. Right? Is that leisure and hospitality? The sector most hit most by restrictions. It doesn't sound right. It might not be a typo, but it doesn't sound right. The sector most hit most by restrictions, and which has been a leader throughout the recovery. All right, so not the best for that side of the news. Let's continue. /YM is the Dow futures. And we can see if we go to the 4 hour, we are getting a nice little retest. So let's see, does this retest level hold? If we don't hold 32.7 on the Dow right here, guys, it's clear what's going to happen, right? If this looks like a pretty weak bounce to me. If this bounce can't even get back to these highs, then what does this look like to you? All right? I mean, it's pretty clear. Bounce, dead cat bounce, and then another downside move, right? That's definitely what this is sort of showing me right here. Downside move, weak bounce off support, and then a dead cat bounce. So let's keep an eye on the Dow here. If it's a dead cat bounce, watch out for 32.7, guys. If you break 32.7, you might get more downside. Russell is pretty much the same, guys. We retested our level, 1850. You can see it right here. Previous resistance, turned into support. Very clear, very easy. However, this bounce just does not quite look like one that I would trust. Not yet, at least. So watch out for this really weak bounce this morning. I would look for maybe the dead cat, or if it starts to reject some of these previous levels, that's what I would be looking for. A break of 1850 to the downside. Biggest problem hiring at the restaurant. All my friends' big places are struggling too, so I can see that number. Yeah. I mean, it's good to get those, the feeling of from an actual business owner, right? So chef owns a restaurant, and he says it's been hard to hire. So yeah, Russell 1850. Watch for that. If you get a little push, and this is a fake push, I'd watch out for the downside. All right, so to review the futures, guys, I am just not confident on the upside just yet. I see the retest on the Nasdaq, right? I'm not blind to the fact that it is holding this retest, but I need to see a lot more price action here to get a little bit more confident for upside. On the ES, I just don't even see the reason to look for upside until you're over this huge supply. This is not a joke of supply zone, guys. This is a daily chart supply, right? This is not some joke of a level, right? I'm not going to play calls into this supply. I need to see it over. I maybe even need to see it over 43 before I can even think about playing upside in this traditionally very weak market, downtrending market. You have a push, but is it time to play into supply? I don't believe so. So that's my feel on the market. That's my feel on the futures. This is probably a fantastic time to tell you that if you want to see the futures analysis that I just talked about in a text format for free, go down in the description below and join the free Discord server. There is no trading. There is no conversation. There is no nothing besides me just posting what I just talked about on the futures in a text format for you to review, and for you to sort of look back at. That's all it is. That's all it is. So you're not getting much. It's free. So feel free if you want to just check it out. But all I'm doing there for free is showing you basically what I just did. Just sort of a place to review what I just talked about. That's all. I think it's a cool idea so that you don't have to come back to a video to look at this. You can just sort of see it in a format. So feel free to check that out. All right. So what do we have next? We have, let's go ahead and look at Tesla. Now we got a lot of people joining. They're all flowing in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the chat. Oh, I got to make sure. Hold on a second. So as you guys join, I'm obviously it's going to be a little bit of a stress test, but okay, there we go. All right, so it is, oh, we get ADP numbers as well? No, it's 8:30. Okay. All right. Thanks, iPeak. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we've had a great week, last few weeks. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and look at Tesla. Now, what am I watching for on Tesla? I really like this rejection point. On Tesla. So I'm watching this. I haven't seen it really give up yet. I'm waiting for that give up day, right? The day where it just really starts to take a hit. That's what I'm waiting for, but you can clearly see, guys, this is a very easy to see rejection point. You can see we are pushing into a previous support, into resistance, and where are we again? We're right there, and we rejected right off 780. This is like one of the few swing trade opportunities that I probably would have liked to see. If you don't see the charts, you have to go to the start here area, guys. Start here, press the green button. You got to press the green button, and then you see it. There you go. All right, so Tesla, you can see right here, guys, it's just not really having any type of upside move off of 780. So you can see rejection, downside right here. If this gives up, yesterday, I'm just going to continue to watch the previous day lows. That's really my plan. Right now, it's around 730. If we give up 730 today, guys, I would be looking for that downside slip. You can see it was a very quick upside move. If we continue to move to the downside, if we continue to reject, if the Nasdaq gives up here, right? That's the key, right? If the Nasdaq gives up this retest level, this Tesla rejection play is going to be very, very nice. So I'm waiting on it. I really want to play it. I've been watching this for like 3-4 days now. I just really want to play this downside. I want to wait till it really starts to give up for us. So I think 730 is probably a pretty good flush point to watch out for today. If I go to let's go to the 5-minute. You can see right here, guys. I think if you give up this 730 flush point, I think you're going to see that downside start to come in. So watch 730 today. That would be my opinion. Of course, Tesla could go up today. I don't quite know, but I really want to watch the 730 flush point level. All right, Apple. Look at this ceiling on Apple at 150. This is going to be very important for the market, guys. So Apple just cannot get over 150. Every time it tries, it gets brutally rejected. It tried to yesterday, and look at that rejection. Look at the sellers that came in on Apple at 150. It's pretty clear that it cannot get above this level. So rejection, 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 rejection. Does it break down? The flush point, again, is not very clear. Maybe you just use the lows from Tuesday, maybe around this 146, 147. But you can clearly see the struggle that Apple is having here. If we go to the 4-hour chart, you can see why it's struggling. Here's the 4-hour. This is a previous support that is turning into a resistance. It is a double top, and it's pretty much identical to Tesla, right? It's a pretty much identical chart to Tesla. 150 cannot break. If you get the break, sure, that will definitely set up a nice trade. But as of right now, I'm looking to see if that rejects 150, which is pretty much identical to Tesla's chart at 780. So 2 watches that I definitely have here. Next, Nvidia. I like the retest hold on Nvidia. This looks a little bit more bullish to me because why is this slightly more bullish? Well, because if we take, for example, the last 2 stocks we just looked at, Apple and Tesla, they are doing this, right? Apple and Tesla are doing this. They are starting to reject the double top. Not quite there. They're like right, let's call them like right here. So this is Apple and Tesla. They pushed into the previous double top and they started to reject. However, on Nvidia, it got through the double top and it's starting to retest. So, does Nvidia provide a long entry here off a retest? Right? Does Nvidia provide a long entry here off a retest? That is something I'm watching. What has to happen for that type of trade to even work? The Nasdaq. The Nasdaq has to get some fire under its you-know-what for Nvidia retest to work here. If you don't see the Nasdaq go, you are not trading Nvidia to the upside, guys. You're not going to just get into Nvidia because you think Nvidia can go up without the market. That's not going to happen, right? We need market participation. If the Nasdaq starts to go, Nvidia is my top watch for a long entry off of a 182 retest. Basically, as easy as that. That's what I'd be watching. Okay. What's next? Next is energy. Farting on the match. All right, energy. It looks like, did we get a push up this morning on oil? Yeah, we did. I don't know when that was. When did that pop out? I think that happened on some news that I saw from Walter. U.S. gas rises towards OPEC may decide on July-August hikes today. Okay, that came out at 8:17. Something came out at 8. What did I miss at 8 o'clock? OPEC highly likely to agree output hike in range of 600 barrels per day for July. Okay, so you got some output hike news from oil. It must be lower than expected. It's right here at 8 o'clock. OPEC highly likely to agree output hike in the range of 600 barrels per day for July. Must be lower than anticipated for the market to go up because more supply is it's economics with oil, right, guys? More supply, price should go down. Less supply than expected, price should go up. So if the price is going up, then my first thought is that it was probably expected for there to be a higher oil output hike. So you got your oil push this morning. Does that carry through into market open? You get an upside move on the XLE. I really want to see the XLE pull back a little bit more. I'll show you where. Right here. I want to see it come back to the 20. To be quite honest, guys, I don't know how comfortable I am buying XLE or any energy stock that much deviated over the 20 SMA. You have seen that in the past, right? If we just look at this chart, guys, all you have to do is look at the chart, look at the history of the chart. What happens every time that oil starts to deviate from the 20? It comes back and tests it, right? You deviate from the 20 here, you come back and test it. You deviate from the 20 here, you come back and test it. You deviate from the 20 here, you come back and test it. You deviate from the 20, you come back to the 50 this time. Deviate, back to the 50, deviate. What do you think's coming next? Right? What would logic tell you is going to come next on this energy push? My logic would tell me that there's going to be a pullback after deviation from the moving averages, and we're going to find a better entry here. I'm not going to be the person that buys here, 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 or here. Obviously, the person that bought these, if they just held on, are winning, obviously. But if it's just a short-term trade, right, I want to wait for a comeback to the 20. That's what I'm looking for. So if I see a comeback to the 20 on XLE, I will be watching CVX, I will be watching XOM, I will be watching Oxy, right? I'll be looking to see, can I get a pullback on these oil names? So that's my opinion, guys, on energy right now. I would wait for a pullback to the moving averages as it's done it over the last year every single time. Okay? Microsoft, I don't know, man. Difficult question. Yeah, very difficult, right? All right. So just like Nvidia, guys, where I said it's outperforming just a little bit, and you have that retest of 182. I think Microsoft's in a similar spot, right? You have a 270 level, which has been historically a huge level. If I go to the daily chart, and I can actually I can bring this back much further. I think it dates back to like a few years ago. Maybe not. That's sort of down here at this 260. 270 sort of stays consistent over the last, what is this? This is February of 20. Okay, so over this year, really, you can see that we have tested this 270 level multiple times. 1, 2, 3, and you can see that 270 is pretty important, right? So what is Microsoft doing now? If we look at let's go to the 30-minute. Look at what Microsoft's trying to do. It is turning the 270 into support right now. You can see support and support. So I like that, right? That's a positive. That's good to see. It's good to see that we are holding that. So can Microsoft move off this 270? All right, that's really what I'm looking to see. Can Microsoft move off the 270? Can we get a push to the upside after holding a previous resistance point? Can we get a push off 270? Of course, you need to see some Nasdaq strength. But that is, if the market's strong, this is definitely one that I would watch. Microsoft turning 270 into double bottom support, possibly pushing to the upside. All right, looks like we got some more economic news here. Market's just really not reacting to it. We got non-farm payrolls revised, so down 7.3 versus 7.5. Jobless claims down 11,000 to 200,000. Survey was 210. It's all basically flat. I mean, there's nothing crazy here. I don't expect this to be much of market moving. But non-farm payrolls minus 7.3 versus the preliminary of minus 7.5. Jobless claims 11,000 down 11,000, and weak continuously claims minus 34,000. So nothing that nothing that stands out to me. But we'll see. We'll see what the market reaction. I mean, market reaction's basically nothing as of now. I don't think the market has not been reacting to these payroll numbers much anymore. I don't know if you guys have realized that. It's more about, it's really more about the FOMCs and the inflation numbers. But of course, right, this has an effect on that. So it's interesting, right? This has an effect on the Fed's decisions, but the actual drop of this news doesn't seem to be much of a reactionary type move. All right, we did Microsoft. Let's go ahead and look into. All right, it's starting to get a little bit of reaction now. Let's go ahead and look at Upstart. I really like this chart. It's definitely interesting. I would definitely like to play this if it starts to break down. Look at this chart right here, guys. Just take it in for a second, soak it in. What do you see? You see a very clean double top, right? Very clean double top with an upside trend line. Now, what does this what does this look like? This to me looks like a very big bear flag. That is what it looks like to me. It looks like a major bear flag. And if we drop this, right, if we drop this uptrend, then I am definitely looking for the downside. If we drop this uptrend after a very clear double top, boom, boom. Look how clear that is. So if we are dropping this trend line, let's say below like 41, 40, let's just say 40. If we start to drop that, and especially if we start to drop this low, then I am definitely looking to play upstart. We'll see what happens. I'm not ready to play it yet. It's not giving up yet. I'll also be aware that it could potentially just do this again, right? This is obviously an opportunity. It could just bounce off the trend line and push back up. That is very possible. But I found this chart on Upstart, and I found it to be very interesting. You can clearly see the up double top. You can clearly see the uptrend. I would be looking to see, does this start to slip under the bear flag? So that's one. Upstart. PayPal is another one that looks very similar. Not very similar, but pretty similar. What is PayPal doing? You guys can see PayPal had a previous support here in this zone around 85, 86. It is bear flagging into that resistance. So I have an alert set actually on PayPal because I quite like this setup. I found this setup to be quite lucrative in the weak market that we have seen. If we move to the upside in a slow process, slow manner, and we push right into previous resistance and we break the uptrend, that is the definition of a bear flag. That is a very nice opportunity in my opinion. So if I see PayPal start to slip here, maybe under 82, start to break some of these lows, then I am definitely looking for this to come back down. If the market's weak, of course. That's obviously the major precursor for anything to the downside. The market has to be weak, so don't forget about that. But that's a nice looking chart in my opinion to the downside. Previous support into resistance, bear flag. If you break the bear flag, you should move to the downside. Definitely watching that. Last one that I have for you is Roku. It's pretty damn clear. Roku just cannot go up. And every time it does, it gets brutally sold into. Rejection, rejection, rejection. 100, 100, 100. Previous support into triple top resistance. I don't know much. I don't have to say much else, right? I mean, I'm definitely going to be watching Roku. If the Nasdaq's weak, I think this will definitely go lower. It should move lower with the overall market. This just rejected again off a $100 level. Psychological resistance, triple top resistance, previous support. I see it potentially trading back down to the channel lows, 75, right? Rejection, 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 $100 previous resistance, psychological resistance. Boom. Love it. Watching that on Roku. If the market is weak, guys, Roku to the downside should be a nice play. If the market is weak, right? You can't forget about that part in any of your trades. The market has to align with your trade. All right. That's what I had. Now we're going to jump into the tickers. So if you want to go ahead and get access to the tickers, there's two ways, right? To recommend tickers. If you are either a channel member of the Discord, channel member of the YouTube, or if you are a premium member of the new Discord that I just went ahead and sent out. So there are some channels that you cannot see if you just join for free, right? If you're here for free, you get the futures analysis, which I will show you every day for completely free. You get some YouTube updates, and then if you want to get access to individual stocks, an in-day recap, and get access to the live stream, and obviously be able to talk about tickers with me on the live stream, that is where you are. That is the premium of that community. So you can go ahead and check that out. If you are a member of the YouTube channel already, you already gain access to this community. So if you are a member of the YouTube already, I want to show you guys what you have to do. So all you guys that are, members like Marty J and all you guys out there, go to my channel, go to the membership tab, and go to where it says perks, right? See perks. If you go to the perks, if you go down to the Discord invite down here, it'll bring you to the Discord. YouTube and Discord will automatically know that you are a member of the YouTube channel, that you already are. Press the join button down below, and it will assign a role to you already. So I'm not forgetting about you guys that are already supported me on the YouTube. If you are a member of the YouTube channel, if you are a supporter of the channel, by pressing the join button, you automatically get access to this. So make sure to check that out. If you have trouble with that, let me know. I will try to attempt to help you with that. But you already get access if you press that join button down below, just to let you know. All right. So let's go ahead and do what you guys want to do. We got a lot on the schedule today. All right, let's continue. Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi's just stuck now. The XLP slowed down. The XLP hype is sort of dying off, right? We had that month of XLP hype. It's starting to die off on us, right, guys? So I would probably look away from Pepsi for now. The XLP hype is sort of slowing. So, yeah, I would stay away from Pepsi until the XLP really shows us what it wants to do. It's pushed higher. It's pulled back. These XLP names, these consumer staple names, have slowed down substantially. So that would be my opinion. It's the same thing for J&J. They're starting to slow down up here. The XLP is losing its strength. So I'd probably stay away from these for a little bit. Wait until you see what the next move on the XLP is. MPLX. Not sure what this stock is, but if I look at the charts, I would just be a little bit careful trading it into this high. If you're looking at this chart, I mean, you can see it's a pretty big resistance level up here. So watch out for the 34 resistance on MPLX. Disney. Yeah, Disney's been a little bit tough. It's obviously been in a lot of trouble, right? The technicals have been really crappy lately. If I go to the longer term analysis on Disney, you can see it's just holding this $100 level right here. You can see this 100, that it's just not being able to get, break it below. So I would maybe try to get it off the 100. If I had to give you any advice on Disney, guys, it would be to buy shares. That would be my advice. You got to pull back on Disney, right? You got it down at 100. It's down 50%. If you think Disney's a quality company, this is your time to purchase some shares. I'm not sure as to where, you trade this to the upside on options. To me, you buy shares 50% down and you forget about it. That's my opinion on a stock like Disney. Oxy, wait for XLE to pull back. Amazon. Yeah, I've been watching some levels on Amazon here. So here's the hourly chart on Amazon. If we go to the 90-day. No, you cannot chat in the Discord. This is not a community. This is just for you to look at the levels. I have a live trading Discord and community that I run, that I'm part of. That's where you can talk. That free one is not for people to conversate in. I would never do that. Not for free. I'm not going to manage a community for free. That's not an easy job, guys. Just to let you know. I know a lot of people think it's like a walk in the park to manage a trading community. It's not. So you guys can see on Amazon, you have a previous resistance and a previous support. You are trading in a channel right now. Until I see the channel move, I will not trade Amazon. Until it breaks 24 or pushes above 25, right? That's what I'm waiting for on Amazon. Watch the channel between 24 and 25. You're trading in between the channel. Wait for it to break to either side of that channel. Walmart. Yeah, Walmart had a big pullback yesterday, and it looks like it's trying to retest this previous resistance. So I would look to see if Walmart can bounce off 124. You can see a break and retest. Look to see if Walmart can push off this 124 and push back to the upside. And also make sure to watch XLP, Consumer Staples. Shopify. If I zoom in, if Thinkorswim will allow me to zoom in. Here we go. So what is Shopify doing? What is Shopify doing? Right? You can see 350. You have a previous support, and it's trying to hold 350. Right? It's trying to hold 350. Support, 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 support. You can see if it does not hold that 350, then I would look for the downside. If it does hold the 350, maybe it pushes up to the channel high. But what is Shopify doing right now that would make me want to stay away? It's in a channel. Wait for it to trade on either side of the channel. That's my opinion. Dexcom. Down. That's my opinion. Down. I mean, look at the chart. It just rejects every time it tries to push. Watch for the flush under the lows. That's what I would say. CVX, we talked about this one. Watch for energy to pull back. CrowdStrike has earnings. Not going to look at it. Good luck on earnings. And Google. Yeah, Goog. It's not doing much, I will say. I'd rather look at... Here, I have Goog analysis here for you, not without the L. So, you guys can see that yesterday I talked about this level at 2350. Look at the rejection. So, I would watch out for the rejection at 2350 on Google. You can see right here, big rejection at 2350. If this thing starts to give up, if the Nasdaq starts to give up, this could be a very nice rejection point. If you only see welcome and start now, you should read where it says start now. And you should do what it says to do. And then you will see things. You guys have to react by pressing the green button, not by doing thumbs up or whatever other people are doing. All right. That's all that I have, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you have a fantastic trading day. Let's go ahead and review the Nasdaq one more time before we head out. Let's see what it's doing right now. Yeah, guys. So it's all about the retest today. It's all about the retest today. If we cannot hold this retest on the Nasdaq, you are going to slip. If we start to break under these lows from yesterday, you're going to see a slip. So watch out. The upside seems weak. I just don't quite see it. I would not really trust any upside in this range, guys. This entire range, look at all the resistance you're going to be matched with here. Rejections, 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 rejections everywhere. Rejections everywhere. Do you really feel comfortable buying calls into this? I just don't even feel comfortable doing that, right? You just don't quite know where it's going to start to reject. So I would wait. If you're looking for upside, I would wait for something much clearer, over 13,000. That's my opinion. Take it for what it is. Press the like button if you guys could. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay tuned for more. Let's get to 500 likes. It's a good goal. Go Rangers. Go. I don't know what else. That's it. Go Excuse me. Go Rangers. Thank you guys for being here. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the Discord down below. If you guys want to trade live with me every day like you see on my Instagram account, check out the trading community. That is different than the free one. This is our main trading community where we trade live every single day. If you want to do that with me, check it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Peace.